Good morning, traders. Before we begin, remember to stay until the end because there will be a multiple choice quiz based on today's analysis so you can test your understanding of liquidity, imbalances, and market structure. If you find these daily breakdowns useful, consider subscribing for consistent XAUUSD analysis focused on liquidity, inefficiencies, and structured price action. So let's talk about today's current context. Price has moved into a very important confluence zone. The market has tapped a weekly void, a daily void, a 4-hour BiSi or buy-side imbalance all at the same time, and this is happening around a major psychological level of 5,000. At the same time, the previous day low has already been taken, meaning sell side liquidity has cleared. Price is also currently trading below the previous day's value area low. When multiple higher time frame inefficiencies align with a major psychological level and liquidity sweep, that area often becomes a strong support region and where the market may stabilize or react. Let's break the chart down step by step. The first levels we mark as usual will be the previous day's high and the previous day's low. We are on the daily chart. You mark the previous day high and the previous day low. As I'd said before, the previous day low has already been taken, which means the sell side liquidity below the level has already been captured. When the market sweeps liquidity like this, it often looks for the next significant support or inefficiency zone where buyers may step in. Since price is now below the previous day's value area low as well, the market is technically trading in a discount relative to yesterday's value area. This often means the market may eventually attempt to rotate back toward value if support holds. We now look deeper into the 1-day time frame, and you can see that it left a 1-day CB. This is a day CB. This has to be marked very accurately. So we will zoom in. So this will mark as a 1-day CB, right? Also keep in mind that the market has tapped the 1-day void, which you can see here, and reacted off of it, which was near the 5,000 level like I was telling you. So this becomes a very important level. So we mark this as well as a 1-day void. So you can see that the market has tapped into the daily void. A void forms when the market moves very quickly in one direction, leaving areas where very little trading occurred. Price often revisits these zones later to rebalance the inefficiency. The key point here is that daily voids align with the weekly void, which strengthens the importance of this region. What we hadn't seen until now is this weekly void, right, which the market has tested. So this we will mark as a 1 week void, and let's make this purple, right? The key point here, like I said, is the daily void aligns with the weekly void, which strengthens the importance of this region. When multiple time frame inefficiencies overlap, the market often reacts more strongly because the institutional order flow tends to concentrate in these zones. We now move on to the 4-hour time frame. You can see between our daily trading range, we can see one 4-hour CB which was formed on Friday, which we will mark the 4 RCB, right? We can see that the market on Friday tapped into a 4-hour CB as well here. CB. But also keep in mind, today, once the market opened, it tapped into a 4-hour BiSi here, a buy-side imbalance. So when you look at all the confluences where liquidity has been taken and it has tapped so many support areas, right, that can push the market up, you have to be pretty careful here, right? This is a buy-side imbalance. The BiSi formed when the price moved aggressively upward, leaving an imbalance where buying pressure dominated. When price returns to this area, you can see it acted as a support because buyer defended this zone again. So currently we have 3 layers of potential support. So the weekly void, the daily void, the 4-hour buy-side imbalance, along with the psychological level around the 5,000 level, which makes this area extremely important for today's trading session. We now move on to the 1-hour. You can see first we look at the previous day's trading range. We can see a CB here, a 1-hour CB here. Oh no, right? A 1-hour CB. I can spot a few more, one of which would be here. And you can see that the market is reacting off of this CB which was formed the previous day in today's market. These imbalances present areas where sellers dominated the market with strong displacement. If price retraces upward, these zones may act as resistance levels where sellers attempted to defend their position. Another important observation here is that the current 1-hour candles are printing very close to each other, which means that this area is being a resistance and the market is being pushed upward, which is acting as a support. So this is usually going to end up in indecision or consolidation. When the candles begin stacking like this, it often means the market is building pressure before the next breakout. So eventually the market will need to break this compression either to the upside or to the downside. Considering the number of confluences on both sides, it is wise to not predict and actually see what the market does. So we have now finished the portion where we look at inefficiencies and we will look at volume profile. We start as usual. We will start on Thursday at 1800 to mark the previous days until 1600, right? So we will first mark the previous day's value area high over here. The previous day's POC. And the previous day's value area low. Right? So the value area high, value area low, and the point of control. The point of control represents the price where the most trading volume occurred during the previous trading day, marking it the market's perceived fair value. Since price is currently below the previous day's value area low, it means the market is trading outside of yesterday's value area. When price moves outside value like this, two things can happen. Either the market accepts the new lower value and continues trending downward, or it reclaims value and rotates back to the POC. So the key levels to watch today in summary is the weekly void, the daily void, the 4-hour buy-side imbalance, and the psychological level at 5,000. This confluence makes the region one of the most important levels on the chart right now. Resistance zones, you can see that there are two 1-hour SIBIs which can push the market down, the 4-hour sell-side imbalance, the previous day's volume levels such as the VAL and POC. So to summarize today's structure, price has swept previous day's sell-side liquidity and moved into a major support zone. This zone includes a weekly void, a daily void, a 4-hour SIBI, and all of this aligning at the 5,000 psychological level. At the same time, the market is compressing on the 1-hour time frame with candles printing tightly next to each other. This means the market is building pressure before the next breakout. So today's key support focus is watching whether price holds the support confluence and attempts a rotation higher, or whether the market breaks the compression and continues lower. Stay patient, stay disciplined, and always let the market show its intention around liquidity levels.